Welcome, Prowl Nation, to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk. It's brought to you by the Belly Up Sports Network. Of course, Detroit Lions on the prowl. Today, it's time to say bye-bye to Jahlani Tavaii. Anyway, and we're going to give our thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Detroit Lions. But first, before we do all that, let me bring in the main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
What up, though? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And like Jim said, we're going to break down this Steelers game. So much to talk about. Let's get this thing started.
Right now.
Lego.
It's Detroit Lions Talk, baby.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite the kneecap off.
Yes, sir. We in the deep. All right, welcome back to the show, people. It's time to talk about. It's time for Tavaii, that guy, to say bye-bye. Jim, what you got?
Well, I can't get all the credit for that. It's time for Tavaii to say bye-bye. It's going to be a new article by Matthew Ferguson, who's a writer for us and on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. And he's the one that came up with that title. And I love it so much, I had to put it on the show. But Tavaii, 5 whole tackles and 4 solo tackles, no tackles for loss, no sacks, no interceptions, no pass deflections. You know what? It is time, man. The experiment is over. He looked lost in coverage. He's just not very good. They gave him two quarters, and I think he played a little in the third. And to only have 5 tackles, only 4 solo tackles, and no other stats whatsoever, except getting beat like a drum, that it's over, dude. Pittman outshined him. Barnes outshined him.
Yeah, it was ugly.
It was bad.
Najee Harris with that pass across the middle. I mean, if he hadn't been slowed up on the sideline, Tavaii wouldn't have caught him from behind. It wouldn't even been close.
And he did accidentally fall on someone for a tackle too.
Yeah. Jahlani Tavaii, I will say this. I still go back to draft night with Jahlani Tavaii. It's just when they stump the truck. They play that game called Stump the Truck on NFL Network, and that's when they have the late round picks and they try to find film on guys who really aren't known. So, but you can't do that in the second round because they were like looking for his tape. They didn't know who he was, and it's for a reason. It was for a reason. If you can't find the tape on your second round pick, man, it's for a reason. I mean, he just really never really rounded into what we wanted him to be in Detroit. I mean, he had a good, solid rookie season, but I say solid. It wasn't good. It was solid. But other than that, Jahlani Tavaii has never impressed me for the Detroit Lions. Him gaining the weight last year, being bigger, slowed him down. He doesn't have great instincts for a linebacker inside or outside. So it's like you said, it's time for him to go. He just looked terrible. I mean, like Dan Campbell said one thing yesterday in his post-game presser. He says some of the guys who they think going to make it are not going to be here, and I think he's the top candidate right now.
Totally agree. I want to be a starter. Well, you got your chance. Yeah. Dan Campbell went on. One thing about Dan Campbell, he gives players opportunity.
Yes.
And in this game, he gave Tavaii the opportunity, and Tavaii failed miserably. He took terrible angles. He looked lost out there a lot of times. He doesn't run to the ball well. He doesn't tackle very well. There's just nothing to like, in my opinion. Nothing to like there. I don't care what round pick he is. It's time for him to go. It's time for Derek Barnes to step up. It's time for Anthony Pittman to step up. And we're going to get into some of those players and different stuff on the game. But right now, Curt has a little special message for you guys.
Hey, if you like the content, hit the subscribe button. Become a part of Prowl Nation. You know we love our people. Prowl Nation is our family. So hit the subscribe button and join the channel. If you're liking the content, please go ahead and hit that like button.
Absolutely. And do it now. Don't wait. In our family discussion topic today, I'm just going to ask you what your thoughts on the game were. And I'm going to say something about our comment cards real quick. If you keep your comment succinct and not 30 pages long, we will be able to put those comments on the comment cards and read them for you. And if they're way too long, we just can't do it. So I was just running into that problem today, and I just wanted to let you know that's how we do it. We get
30-minute show, people.
Cards. Yeah, we get those comment cards, and we can't, and we try to get through it really quick. We want to know what you said, but I understand that you want to get your analysis out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, today I'm going to go into the defensive side of the ball first, and I thought the defense played terrible in the first part of the game. Okudah gets burnt. Okudah redeems himself, and I like that fact. He bounced back. He had a pretty good coverage on Juju, which he was trying to get off that Juju off his back. But anyway. Anyway, no, I really thought the defense didn't play very well. 20 points in the first half. We don't have our starters in this game, and Kurt's going to bring out a really good point about that and when he does his, but it's just a difference in philosophy. We'll leave it at that. Tavaii, terrible. There were some other guys. McNeil kind of double team, didn't show enough for me this week. Anzarike shows up. He's a big dude. He's a house. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Big dude. He is a disruptor. He is what they said he was. I think he's still nursing that injury because I didn't see him as quick as I've seen him before. So I still think there could be a little problem still there. Also, if you're looking for people to possibly move up in the depth chart when Jahlani Tavaii is jettisoned from Detroit, look no further than Derek Barnes. Derek Barnes killed it. He absolutely killed it for me. Derek Barnes, 6 total tackles, 5 solo tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass deflections, and a quarterback hit, and that was with the sack. Right. Dude is all over the field. He shot out of a cannon. Again this week, he shows up on tape. I don't know. Anthony Pittman too. Anthony Pittman, he takes good angles. He's a good tackler. He's good in coverage. Those two, when they're on the field, have some sort of chemistry together too now as they keep working together. I see Pittman making the team. Derek Barnes, if he's not if it's just a mental thing why he's not starting, like he's not caught up or something, I don't know, but he should start. Yeah. That dude is great in coverage. He's great at run defense. He's good when he rushes the passer because he was a pass rusher before. Right. And I have one more guy. AJ Parker showed up today. Right. And he made some plays, man. He had 8 tackles, 7 solo tackles. He really did show up. The kid can tackle. The kid is making a case to make this team. And if you don't play well, Dan Campbell don't care who you are. He's going to put the best 53 out there. And I think we're going to have some shocks. I think we're going to have some surprises, when we go to the regular season, cut down to 53. We have a cut down this week, but it's only 5 players. I've got good ideas who those players might be, but we'll save that for tomorrow's show. Yeah.
Well, Dan Campbell said in his presser, I mean, this is kind of quick my take on the defense. If you look at the front 7 for the Lions, most of the starters did not play in that game. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt. It does give you questions on the depth, you know what I'm saying? But you won't see that many second-string players against a first-string offense, you know what I'm saying, like in the regular season. So you're not going to see that much as far as the front 7 is concerned. Brocker's not playing. Starting defensive ends aren't playing. So you look at that. I like Anzarike, like you said, showed up. I just think McNeil was just they can key on him because of the fact that the guys that would usually start around him, you know what I'm saying, were not in the game. So I take that with a grain of salt. Okudah impressed me with a bounce back play down in the goal line. We looked at that. Will Harris with a pass breakup on Ebron. They said I got stuck watching the Steelers broadcast team because of the fact that I live in North Carolina and it was on NFL Network. So they were like, "Oh, Ebron dropped the pass." No, Will Harris broke the pass up. Yep. If you look at that play, Will Harris had a pass breakup with that thing with the pass to Ebron. So all that being said, was it a great performance? No, not by no means. It wasn't. Was it what I expected? Probably so, with that many second string players playing against the majority for the first half of the game were Steelers starters. they use this game as a dress rehearsal. We use it as an evaluation thing. So the defensive side, and I'll get to the offense here in a second, but the defense, the front seven was backups, and they were getting their chance to make their statement, and a lot of those guys made a bad statement. They did not make their case for making the roster. I mean, Tavaii, right. I mean, we talked about him earlier. He did not make a case, to be a starter in this league. I mean, you want to go against the best, you want to be a starter, and you did not show up. Reese Maben, he gave up a touchdown. Reese Maben played a long game. If you look at what Coach Dan Campbell said, play all of the special team snaps. So he was out there the majority of the game. It's probably 3/4 of the game he was out there on the field. So, and in coverage, I mean, that touchdown, I mean, he had good coverage. The guy just made a better play. So I can't say anything about that. But Will Harris, showed up, played some solid game. AJ Parker was phenomenal tackling, making plays in the backfield, tackles for loss. I mean, that guy's making his statement to be on this roster. So a guy that disappointed me a little bit was Mike Ford. He didn't play as well as he's played in the first game. So, but that's my take on the defense. But if they're playing a dress rehearsal and we're playing evaluation, it's what you would expect for that type of game. Just to be honest, I mean, I expect, if you look at how the person that we had out there and what they had out there, I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to be pretty. Going out the gate, I was like, this is not going to be fun. I just saw it. You can just see it. And I was like, they're playing this guy and that guy. I'm like, Roethlisberger starting, and he's out there whipping the ball around. I'm like, yeah, he has all the time to, sit back there, take a cup of coffee, and just, yeah, it wasn't good. So, but I digress. But let's, if you like this content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, join Prowl Nation. We appreciate you joining us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. We love our family. We love Prowl Nation. I laugh because of the fact that so many people are going to overreact in this game. Oh man, it's so terrible. I'm like, yeah, you can't even say that, because it was so overmatched as far as the personnel on a lot of the roster. But let's go to the offensive side of the ball. Mostly the skill players played a little bit. The first string guys played very little. I mean, on the only really the guys I saw that was probably first string that were out there was probably Quintez Cephas and St. Brown as far as skill position players were concerned. One guy who kind of quietly had a good night was Jamar Jefferson. 3 carries, averaged 7.3 yards a carry, 22 yards on 3 carries. That's pretty good. I'm liking that. Was it it's a little bit of up front where they, got a stunt on Sewell and those guys on the right side. But, Tim Boyle is one guy that the other guy that's time to go is Tim Boyle. I don't know how in the hell he's the number 2 quarterback. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Because you bring this guy in. Okay, yeah, he played behind Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, he didn't start in front of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the guy was a backup for a reason. I mean, you bring this guy in, he's not a seasoned backup. He doesn't have any time in the league. The guy, all his time on the field was in preseason. I mean, and I see why. I mean,
that's what I had to take on that. Remember when I said that they were playing him to evaluate him to cut him? That's exactly what I think is going on there.
I think so. You look at, okay, yeah, he has a big arm, throwing behind Perriman, throwing behind St. Brown. He threw one pass at St. Brown that they kind of surprised me that St. Brown dropped. Mika Fitzpatrick was about to lay the wood to him. A rookie can get alligator arms because he was about to take a big hit. He caught that pass. I gave him a reprieve on that one, but I don't see that happening too often with St. Brown. But, I mean, Perriman, he doesn't need any help dropping a pass.
Yeah, he's got that down.
I mean, he could do that on his own. Leading him out there too far, it was way outside of his catch radius. I mean, And Perryman had a pass called back on offensive PI. I don't really think that was, but
I didn't either.
You know, that was a ticky tack call by the refs. Even the Steelers broadcast team said that was kind of ticky tack. But you look at it, it is what it is. But like we said, you can't evaluate this game and look at it and say on the offensive side of the ball as well. Skill players, you know, was mostly second and third string. No Jamal Williams, no DeAndre Swift, no TJ Hawkinson, no Jared Goff. I mean, like, you really can't. They were looking for guys who wanted to make this roster this game. This was their cut down game for the Lions. Okay, who is going to make this roster and who's not?
Yep.
And like I said,
step up and
yeah. And like I said before, Dan Campbell said some guys who were on the bubble are going to make the roster, and some guys who you think were going to be around are not. And it's going to be that cut and dry. If Dan Campbell will cut a guy on his 40th birthday, he can care less on who you think you are.
Dan Campbell says, I'm an asshole.
Yeah, if you're not playing up to snuff, you got to go. And I think that's what's going to happen for a lot of these guys who think they're on the roster, but they're not going to make it.
I got some stuff on the offense.
Yeah,
too.
The one guy, Craig Reynolds, let's close it out.
Oh yeah.
Craig Reynolds still impressing me, and even Godwin had a good touchdown there in the second half. So yeah, those second and thirds, those running backs, we got a pretty deep running back room.
We do.
So I like that.
Mills too.
Dedrick Mills had a good game as well.
But here's my take on the offense and Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle sucks. Plain and simple. But the only thing I'm going to say for Tim Boyle is he did not have Frank Ragnow. He didn't have Taylor Decker, and even TJ Hawkinson, because he can block too. So he was under pressure quite a bit in this game, but his throws were so far off. I remember when some of the subscribers would come in and say, oh, he's going to be the starting quarterback, not for our team, maybe for St. Mary's of the Blind somewhere, but not for our team. The other thing I think on the offensive side of the ball, but maybe both, the officials have reverted back to season form now and calling most of everything against the Lions and very little against the Steelers. They did. They returned to form. I told you they would last week. They kind of made some mistakes last weweek. It's preseason for the officials, so you got to give them a break. But this week, they were right on task with every flag against the Lions. And it's like, it's hard when you're in 1st and 30 and 1st and 20, it gets difficult.
Yeah, it was nine penalties for, I believe it was like 76 yards or something.
Yeah, something
ridiculous like that.
Crazy.
Yeah, 9 for 76. It was a lot of penalties on the game on the Lions yesterday. And it was funny to hear the Steelers announcers. Oh, that was a hold on the Dedrick Mills touchdown. The Dedrick Mills touchdown. Oh, there was a blatant hold on that run. I'm like, how many
penalties do you need, man? That's the thing. That doesn't make any sense. So the penalties were Lions 9 penalties for 76 yards. They did try to do some makeup calls in the 4th quarter, so it ended up being 5 penalties for them for only 24 yards. So, but they did do some ticky-tack little makeup calls in the end there. So that's probably why that looks as good as it does. But you know what? You hit the nail on the head. I mean, that is such the perfect take, Curt. There's 2 different philosophies here. It's the dress rehearsal for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're doing it a way I've never seen before. I've never seen before where you go ahead and you take out most of your starters the rest of the way. Next week's going to be the same thing, and you just evaluate your depth. I think it's smart. I really do. I was on the fence with it for a minute because I think they need reps, but he's saying we're going to get our reps in the in the practices, and we're going to go hard in practice. And you know what? Then, in the games, I want to see these other guys. I want to see who I have to cut. It makes perfect sense. Would you like to see the starters out there? No, because they're going to get hurt. No, I don't want to see all those guys out there.
Yep. I want to see the evaluation process. I like the process because of the fact that they have a lot of guys on the bubble. I mean, they have a lot of guys that they brought in, who thought they was going to make the roster. And it's like, okay, he's not the right fit. Or, he's not panning out, so we got to move on for him. And you have to look at it like, okay, let's evaluate these guys and look at who's still out there, and maybe we can bring in someone else, or who's going to get, who's going to be available after cutdowns. So, they have that process. So I'm liking what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are doing with the rosters.
Yeah, in Nick Williams,
Mm-hmm.
because Nick Williams got off the COVID list and immediately got injured, so he couldn't play this game. I'm like, come on, man, really?
I mean,
first
like
day back.
I mean, it tells you the conditioning, and was he, and it's kind of hard to condition while you're in quarantine, and unless
Absolutely.
you have a gym, you have a gym in your house you can work out in or something like that. But other than that, I mean, sometimes it's kind of hard to go out and do conditioning while you're on the COVID reserve list. But to come back and get injured, I mean, that's one of the reasons for me. I believe that it was a bigger story that the head trainer got fired.
I agree with that.
Last week. I think that's a bigger issue than what we originally thought it was. So.
Well, and this whole game, I know that the people, the people that are like, this team sucks, they're going to go ahead and they're going to say, look, see, they suck because their first team got beat by their first team like 20. That wasn't our first team.
It was not.
Guys, you're going to have to take a chill pill on this. And I know we can see a lot in preseason, and we do have a lot of work to do. I'm not going to lie. But there's no reason to be pessimistic right now because it is preseason, but it's not just, it's only preseason because sometimes that gets overused. But in this sense, we're just evaluating plays. We're nowhere near trying to do anything.
There was a lot of vanilla calls out there too, as well. Even David Blau said it in the presser. He was like, we just played our base plays and we just kind of lined up and went about it. He's like, I didn't see anything that was, stood out. It wasn't like, you didn't see a lot of play action or, it wasn't a whole bunch of crossing routes. It was just like, you just lined up and played.
But I do want to say David Blau looked really good. He looked intense.
I will say that, yeah.
I was impressed with him. But you know what? If you could do me a favor and smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, it really helps us. We're on the march to 10,000 subscribers. Yes. And, we're going to give you an update every day on how that's going. So if you could do that and you have not yet subscribed, join the family. Okay. Thank you very much. Now It's time to go to the comment cards, see what you were saying about this. And these are comment cards because of the fact that, like I said earlier in the show, we have comment cards that this long. So I had to take some from last Thursday. So most of these are from last Thursday. So Jeremy Ballrick says, I think in preseason, an experiment with Barnes playing opposite Collins. He's way faster than anyone thought. But they're not even going to play Collins. So I'm not sure that's going to work. I want to see him with the ones. I really, really do. But you know what? It's whatever's best for his development. That's all I got to say.
Right. All right. Big West Kevin says, I think it was the right time to cut a 40-year-old long snapper. The long snapper is the last line of defense on a punt return and might have to make a tackle.
If he had to make a tackle, we're in deep trouble.
I don't think I've ever seen Dom Beck make a tackle.
I don't think so either.
He probably has, but I don't know. But it was just like Dan Campbell said. It was just time, and it is what it is.
I don't like it. I think people know my feelings on that. So I'm going to go to Miles Gibbs on a more positive note. Hey guys, great show. Sorry, it's been a minute. LOL, new job. I felt the same about Mule being cut. It was a rough day. Do you think he could sign with Arizona and connect with Prater? I think he's going to retire. I personally think he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to go to another team. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to retire.
Yeah, I think that he spent his whole life, his whole family, everything is Detroit. And, and it's hard for players to move on. You look how, hard it was for, maybe even Tom Brady to move on from the Patriots. But for him, it's not even close to the same thing. I mean, like most teams are set at long snapper. I mean, there's not like a real big battle across the league for, long snapper. So I doubt that he gets a job somewhere else. All right. Bruce Betterly says, Don Muhlbach is no jinx. That is just ridiculous. I believe that as well. Don Muhlbach's a jinx. No, he was one of the best in his position in the league. I mean, the guy only had one one punt in 17 years blocked. I mean, one, no kick, no, as far as
Crazy.
like, as far as things that are his fault that, he would be, as far as credited with as a long snapper. I mean, I haven't seen a bad snap, over no one's head or anything like that. So, and since he was a rookie, and that's when the block punt happened. So, I would say good luck to Don Muhlbach. Great career, my man. Thank you for all you did for the city of Detroit.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's my things for Don Muhlbach.
XL Ballin X313. He says, I'm sorry Don Muhlbach is gone, but he really didn't do anything besides long snap. But that's not important. I'm sorry. I hate that. I hate that statement. Yeah. That roster could be filled by younger talent. Any one of our current players could learn how to long snap. The roster spot needs to go to someone who can help this Lions team. Some young talent that could be developed. We are establishing a new culture. It's great to completely clean house and restart. There is nothing. We love you, dude, but there is nothing in this statement that's true. Except for you're glad he's gone, whatever. Not, you're sorry he's gone, but the roster spot is taken up by the other long snapper. So there is no roster spot to be had by anyone else. They were in competition and it was expected for Muhlbach to win, but the other guy, and for some reason his name escapes me. If you think of it, Curt, let me know. Okay. Daly, I think is his name.
Yeah, Daly. Scott Daly.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? How is there another? I argued with this on somebody else's thing too. It's like, how is there another roster spot when those two are in competition? There's not going to be a roster spot for anyone else when the 53 get cut down. Nope. That's just not how this works.
Anyway, it's a 1-for-1 deal. You got one long snapper, you got one punter, and you got one kicker. That's it.
And we had two long snappers, so we take one out. We still are going to have that guy, which we already have. So I don't know.
Roster. Yeah, already in a roster. All right. Dr. Detroit says, laugh out loud. What you don't understand.
What don't you understand about the move?
Yeah, what you don't understand. I understand. I mean, I think it was just the timing of it. I mean, like they decorated his locker, saying some of the teammates, they got him presents, and then his presents from the Lions is, here you go. Here's a pink slip.
No doubt.
Here you go.
You're so funny with that.
You're fired. I mean, that's got to be like one of the, you're like this.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. But you know what? Congratulations again to Don Muhlbach, 2-time Pro Bowler. I mean, the guy has a lot of records in the league, not only just for the Lions, but in the league as far as snaps played and, I mean, longevity of career. I mean, you look at that. I mean, the guy was a staple in Detroit, and we talked about this on the show plenty of time, death, taxes, and Muhlbach, and it just didn't happen this year. This was the year that, I guess it was just time for one of those things to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I think in this situation, as remember when we didn't have Prater and we went through all those kickers, and now we have a kicker that I don't really have a lot of confidence in, just me, Randy Bullock, and now we have a new snapper. So if you were one of those Lions fans that was crying and whining way back when we didn't have a good kicker, this could affect us. It may not. This guy may be pretty good, but I'm just saying it's something that concerns me. I'm not going to say that I'm all freaked out about it, but the kicking game is a very big thing. And if we're going to start getting more of them blocked and things happening and, missed kicks because of that combination, then I don't like it. But now it's time for my favorite part of the show. We're going to go to Curt with the dessert with my man, Curt.
All right. Now this goes out to my man, David Blau. He gets the dessert with your man, Curt, brought to you by Delightful Bites Cookies, custom cookies for any occasion, and also with desserts, dip desserts. So Delightful Bites, get your cookie on. So David Blau really impressed me yesterday. If you look at the box score of the game yesterday, David Blau, 12 of 17, 143 yards, 8.4 yards average per pass for attempt at one touchdown at a 115 QBR rating. Woo-hoo.
Compared to 53 for
compared to 53. But he also had 2 runs for 26 yards, average 13 yards per rush in the run game. Scott back there scrambling. David Blau, for me, solidified himself. I think that he is the number 2 quarterback in Detroit right now until we bring somebody else in. Congratulations to him on just a good, solid performance yesterday. He did his thing, and he definitely led the Lions to their scoring drive. So my shout out for the Delightful Bites Dessert with your man Curt is my man, David Blau. Good game last night, young man, and you did your thing, and you, to me, made your case to be the quarterback number 2 for the Detroit Lions.
Absolutely. My final thoughts for today is pump the brakes on this is a terrible team. Okay. Normally, I'm the one that's trying to help you with your opium addiction and all this other stuff. But this time I'm fair and balanced. Okay. So I see it as reality. And the reality is we're going up against a team that was using their starters to the third quarter. We're going up against a team that was their dress rehearsal. This is like they are taking it as seriously as a regular season game. We were not. We were taking it as an evaluation. You could tell because Frank Ragnow wasn't playing, and then TJ wasn't playing, Swift wasn't playing, Swaggy wasn't playing. You know, I mean, all of these people weren't playing, and to go up against their ones, I don't think they did a terrible job. In fact, I think they did a pretty good job. So lay off the Lions. I love Dan Campbell in the halftime thing where he says, well, what I want us to do is catch up and win. They were down 20-0 at that point. And you know what? They almost did it.
Yeah.
They were only down 6 points, you know, and he just let the time run out because, hey, it's preseason and whatever. But I thought Dan Campbell was balanced. I think he's been pretty reserved. I think he gets when to be emotional and when not to be. And we had a question mark about that. And I think that he passed that test too. So those are some things that I wanted to say. Wednesday, we have our gold members meeting. It's at 3:00. I'm trying to get you guys' emails because I've been hearing from you guys that you're not getting the notifications of when that's going on or the link. So I will be sending the link via email. Get with me on Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you can get with me. And I will send you that link via your email on that day. So make sure everybody gets that so that you get what you're paying for. We'll go to Wall of Fame in a little bit. But that's it, man. I mean, I think it was a good game by our Lions. I think they showed toughness. I think they did not quit. And Derek Barnes is a freaking beast. Let's go.
Absolutely a beast. All right, my final thoughts were for this game are, like Jim said, I would echo his. The Lions brought a knife to a gunfight. So I mean, basically, it was one of those things where you got Big Ben playing against Tim Boyle. That's going to be a losing situation where however you slice it up. So, but I digress. A lot of those guys who were on the bubble are either going to be off the bubble because they're off the roster, or they're going to be in the bubble because they're on the roster. So, some guys showed me some stuff, and some guys showed me some stuff. If you get what I'm saying right there.
For sure.
So, Dan Campbell, I'm liking his approach. That's all I have to say about that. But congratulations to the guys like Derek Barnes and AJ Parker and those guys who had a pretty good game. So, they showed up and showed out. Let's walk over to the Wall of Fame.
Yes.
All right, let's get our bronze members. We have Detroit Drew, Midwest Lion, Brian Stover, Bo Gagrius, Justin, my favorite, Beard 10 Kate. We have Says Sharad Roberts. I didn't see Says Sharad. Did he play yesterday? I didn't remember seeing him.
Yeah, he did. He dropped the pass.
Okay, good job, guy. All right, Sub-C Trap City Boys Entertainment. We have Crystal Wiley, Bubba Bo, John Kapler, Art, Allen, Jimbo G. What up, Jimbo? We have David Anderson, and we have the Latino Lion. You know what I'm saying, roaring on the Wall of Fame. 7 members, we have Nomus J, Jason Portis, Cap Ice Cold, the Batman of the 313, John Martin, Tornado, the F5 is blowing through. And we got Go Lions. All right, for our gold members, we have my man, Michael Huck. Just in the D, we have Larry McQuiston, Turner C. Burley, Dominic Davis, Bob Korowski. We have Pride 74, Matthew Ferguson, who is our resident writer for Detroit Lions on the Prowl.com.
Got an article coming out today.
Yes, he does. Random Flag 606, Miles Gibbs, Randy Prince, the Gridiron Blitz, the big fella, North and Ken. And you know we got the doctor. Dr. Detroit is always in. To become a member of the Wall of Fame, click the Join Now button in the description or the Detroit Lions on the Prowl logo at the bottom of the screen.
And now it's time to close out the show. We really appreciate each and every one of you. If you could, on the way out, just hit that like button for me. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So, Curt, take us home.
All right, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And go over and check out the articles written by Matthew Ferguson on DetroitLionsOnTheProwl.com and get yourself some Prowl Nation gear. Hey, go over to LionsOnTheProwlShop.com. We got plenty of gear over there. My man Jim is rocking the Lions on the Prowl family shirt. I'm rocking Prowl Nation, baby. You know how we do it. And you can get yourself some more gear. That kneecap biter shirt, the What Up Though Curt Steele shirt, it's over there as well. So go over there and get yourself some Lions on the Prowl gear and be a part of Prowl Nation. And go over and check out BillioSports.com. Man, fantasy is heating up. You know the season's right around the corner, and we'll be playing our own fantasy game. But to get your fantasy advice, go over to BillioSports.com. They got a great fantasy department, and they're putting out some great content. And you can check us out over there as well on BellyUpSports.com. And if you want to get yourself some Lions gear, hey, more and more gear is coming out as the season's coming up. Get yourself some Lions gear. I got this fresh one. You know, I got to keep my fresh lids. Over on Fanatics.com, the link is in the description. A portion of the proceeds from that link go to help us grow this content on this channel. And get yourself some cookies. Get your cookie on Delightful Bites. The Facebook link is in the description. She makes custom cookies. I got some cookies in yesterday. I will definitely show them on the program coming up this week, and you can see some custom cookies. I got Lions cookies, and I got some. Wow. I got some NFC North rival cookie that I'm going to show at custom, and you can check it out. I'm telling you, they look great and they taste good as well. So Delightful Bites, get your cookie on the description. Hey, thank you for starting your week off right with us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Get yourself a cup of soda, a drink of water, clean off your desk, and get back to work. And whatever you do in life, you know what you got to do. You got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.